Right, this is not going to be a prediction video as such. This is just my thoughts at this point in time, leading up to this fight, undisputed. A lot of the shenanigans that have gone on this week, I haven't really sort of been party to. Um, there's a small channel I follow on YouTube. I can't remember the guy's name, but he spent a lot of time in Wildcard Gym with Freddie Roach, and he spent a lot of time in sort of other gyms, and he has mad pros on there. But he said that he's had on very good authority that Alexander Usyk had been dropped heavily twice in the build up to this. Now, um, it kind of doesn't surprise me if that was true. And we've all made videos about this before about how being dropped in sparring doesn't sort of you can't read anything into that. But I'd be less surprised. I'd be more inclined to believe that than not believe it, just for the fact that Usyk does have a tendency to be sort of hurt to the body. Um, when we come to the weight of Tyson Fury, I must admit I do worry that he has been on kind of an extended fat camp, even though he looks like he's dropped body fat and increased muscle density and muscle tissue, which is a difficult thing to do. If you look at his arms, I mean, he doesn't really have separated biceps and triceps. They're not really that visible, but his arms certainly look a lot thicker than they have done previously, and he's probably carrying the less body fat than he has. Of course, we don't really know the weights, do we yet? Conan, we don't really know what they're going to be, but you do. Joe always mentions this. I don't know if it was Angelo Dundee who said light ain't right. So you do worry how weaker he will be, especially affecting his legs as the fight goes on, because you do well. Heavyweights is about being strong. It is about being strong, proportionally strong, you know, and relative to your body type. Um, I do think I think a lot of the mistakes people have made when boxing Usyk, I don't think you can with Usyk. I don't think you can allow him to be that sort of pop shot in counter puncher. I don't think you have to take that away. I don't think you can be led into a game of leading with him, because that's exactly what he wants you to do. I think a lot of fighters fall into that, especially in the early rounds, because what happens is he will not do a great deal. He will offer movement and he will offer angles, but in terms of offense early on, he won't push that much early on, and that kind of entices his opponents to sort of lead and take the lead, because I think to a certain degree they see that as, there's opportunities for me to score and land because he's not being, sort of overtly offensive. And I think you have to get out of that. I think if you look at the shots he's been hurt with in his career, it's kind of been, they've always been sort of counter shots to a degree. A lot of them have been on the counter. Joshua hit him with good counters at times. Daniel Dubois did. I think you play into his hands if you lead against Usyk and pressure him. That's exactly what he wants you to do. I will say as well, I do think like there is this belief that, and Usyk is a generational talent. We all know he's a generational talent, but no one is unbeatable. I mean, would we treat a Fury win as, say, as much of a shock of Tyson Douglas? I mean, it's not even close, is it? I mean, I'm still torn with this to a degree, and like I said, this isn't my prediction video. There will be a prediction video, but people suggesting that Fury will just get knocked out early and schooled. I tend to not agree with that. What Usyk has in the obscene amount of talent and technical ability he has, Fury makes up with that by just knowing every pro trick in the book. When you talk about a wily old fox, Fury is that. Fury knows every trick to utilise to get the win at the end of the day. And there's also a lot of the talk of that Fury has never faced anyone as good as Usyk, which is quite true. He blatantly hasn't faced anyone as good as Usyk. But just because he hasn't faced anyone as good as Usyk doesn't mean he can't beat someone as good as Usyk. Now, you guys all know me. I'm not a fan of the Furies. Fury the man. I've made that quite clear. Taking the usual shit from the Fury faithful for it. But I honestly don't have. Other than the fact I was speaking to a mate of mine today, Dean, and he talked about, you know, if you were gonna have a heavyweight champion, certainly in the mold of Anthony Joshua or Alexander Usyk, you would want them in the mold of one of those two guys, wouldn't you? They're just great examples, great men, great professionals, and they are the guys you want to wave the flag and be the flag bearers. But I don't. If you look at Usyk's fights, he's had rounds in most of his fights that he has lost, working out a problem to some degree. I think Usyk, like I said, is a fantastic generational talent, but I do not think he's unbeatable. And just because Fury hasn't done it at this level yet, or against an opponent with the level of stature and ability that Usyk has got, doesn't mean he can't. Unless all the stories and the rumours we hear about the injuries, the toll that his lifestyle has took on his body, if that's true, and we turn up on Saturday night, whatever it is, and we see the instant degradation, I do think this is a fight that you will probably watch 3 rounds of, and after 3 rounds, you'll probably have to pick which way this is going to go. I don't think there'll be many surprises. I think both of them, other than Usyk likes to start off at sort of a mediocre pace, he likes to go up through the gears in the second half of the fight. Fury kind of does the same thing. It'll either be flat-footed, walk-forward puncher, or, you know, not so much pure boxer anymore. I don't think he can do that anymore to the level. Oh, we don't know, do we? He looks like he's in fantastic shape. But I've certainly got this closer than a lot of other people. I certainly don't see Usyk stopping Fury early. And I certainly see a chance that, and I've always said, Tyson Fury is not a puncher at heavyweight. He's just not. But what I mean by that is, just because you're not, when we talk about punches at heavyweight, we talk about the elite level, single shot, absolute destructive one-shot knockout power. And Fury isn't that. But he's also a 18, 19 stone man. And any 18 stone, 19 stone man is going to hit you hard and he's going to punch hard. So, do we think that Usyk can't hurt? Fury can't hurt Usyk? No, I believe he can. I believe he can to the body. It really does depend on how these two go about this fight. Usyk is going to have a very definite plan, and I believe Fury will as well. But I think the key to me is not letting either guy take up the mantle of the counterpuncher. I'm just excited, man. It's like you find it hard, you pinch yourself that it's here, and I'm actually going to see it. I say that, there's still time in there. But yeah, they're just a few thoughts. I just see a lot of the opinions on Fury, and you know, I'm no Fury fan, but I think he's getting. I don't think he's getting enough credit for the things he does and the things he's done. Listen, Fury always finds a way to win, and Fury has come through life and death battles at heavyweight. Usyk hasn't really come through a life and death battle at heavyweight yet. For me, an elite level life and death battle at heavyweight. So, yeah, I mean, it's really up there for me. It's a pick 'em for me, and I will do a prediction the closer we get. But I just want to give a few thoughts, and thanks for everyone who's subscribed and all the support and the kind messages. Should be back home hopefully Saturday, so back to the most usual content. We won't be filming in the hospital room. But peace out. See you all soon.
But Joshua's got it. Let's go tottering around the ring.